Hello everyone, my name is Andy Tran. For this project, I'm going to work on the sentiment analysis using LSTM networks. LSTM networks basically is a popular version of the RNN networks, and it is often done or used for sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is basically we feed a bunch of text into the model, and at the end it produces a text classification whether or not the text are or review are considered negative or positive. So for this project, I'm going to look at the Amazon video games review, which is available on the Stanford Network Analysis Project website. And I'm going to use Google Colab to run my code and several Python libraries I'm using to process my data and also to build my model. Those are the Keras, Pandas, NumPy, TextBlob, and WordCloud. TextBlob is very an interesting Python library. It claims that it can do text classification, it can do text processing, and so forth. And but we're not going to use that library TextBlob to train our data. Basically, we look at the data closely. What's it look like? What's the data look like before we actually use it for our training, model training. The TextBlob API is very powerful. We can use it to look at the verbal representation of the text, whether it's considered negative, neutral, or positive. We also use TextBlob to look at the subjectivity or objectivity of the text. And lastly, we look at how our data are distributed, between the range of the ratings 1 to 5. 1 is the worst, 5 is the favorite, and we also want to look at the distribution, the frequency of words in our data set. So once we understand, our data set, we can process the data, feed into our model, which is the two-layer models, the embedding layer and the LSTM layer. And lastly, we want to look at how accurate our model, versus the train versus the test data set. Is it overfeeding or underfeeding and so forth? Thank you very much.